Prime Minister Kevin Rudd has defended Labour's latest round of attack adverts and vowed to keep on fighting as the latest opinion poll shows the party heading for a heavy defeat at the September 7th election. Despite a pledge at the start of the campaign not to engage in negative politics, Labour has released a series of adverts attacking Tony Abbott, including a new clip which aired for the first time on Sunday night, claiming the opposition leader is planning major cuts to health, education and jobs.
12,000 people will lose their jobs, and he'll cut billions from education, including those schools that need it most. If he wins, you lose.
Prime Minister Kevin Rudd defended the tactics during a TV interview on Monday morning and said Labour was simply returning fire after a series of negative ads from the coalition.
So this is a fight worth having, and if you looked at my political career in the past, it hasn't always been easy, and I've been written off many, many times before.
It comes as the latest opinion polls show Labour in deep trouble with voters as the election campaign nears the midway point. Monday's news poll published in the Australian newspaper shows Labour's primary vote is at 34% compared to the coalition's primary vote of 47%. On a two-party preferred basis, Labour's support stands at 46%, a drop of 2 points, while the coalition support has risen to 54%. Mr Rudd still edges Mr Abbott as preferred Prime Minister, 43 to 41%, but the gap in the two men's personal ratings has narrowed considerably over the past few weeks. Mr Rudd urged voters not to write the Labour Party or himself off, pointing to the fact there are still several weeks left in the campaign. The Prime Minister was in Lismore, northern New South Wales on Monday in a bid to shore up support for the local Page MP, Janelle Saffin. Mr Abbott was in Sydney and visited the seat of Bennelong, currently held by former pro tennis player turned Liberal politician John Alexander. Mr Abbott also visited Western Sydney on Monday, where he announced plans to give Customs an extra $100 million to try and stem the flow of illegal guns entering Australia. There's been dozens of shootings in Sydney's west over the past 2 years, and Mr Abbott said a coalition government would support mandatory 5-year jail sentences for anyone caught illegally importing guns. Mr Abbott said a coalition government would also work with state and territory police forces to set up local gang squads to tackle gun-related crime.
An incoming coalition government will do our bit to crack down on gun crime right around Australia. I regret to say that the current government, in losing control of our borders, has not just failed to stop the boats, but it's failed to stop the guns as well.
Meanwhile, attention should turn to the economy and budget on Monday night as Treasurer Chris Bowen and opposition Treasury spokesman Joe Hockey go head-to-head in a debate on the ABC's Q&A programme. Mr Rudd and Mr Abbott will face off in the second leaders' debate in a People's Forum in Brisbane on Wednesday night.